Thank you so much for talking with me. I really appreciate it, Zay.
Of course, I'm happy to be here.
So for the people who don't know, you were the first one evicted from Big Brother 27. How have things been for you since leaving the house?
I mean, obviously, no one wants to get evicted first. That wasn't my plan. I still planned on being here. It's a little weird because like all my plans I made, like we're starting in October, so I was planning on being on the show. So it's like kind of weird. So I'm in a little in between phase where I'm just like I don't even know what to do with myself half the time. But it's been great though. I mean, I've gotten to catch up, with my family, friends, see everybody, and so it's been great being out of the house. But obviously, I still wish I was in there.
Yeah, yeah, I could imagine. You have reached out. I don't know if you've reached out, but I saw you with some alumni, Matt and Mackenzie from last season.
Yes.
Have any other, what was that like, first of all, and have any other alumni reached out to you?
Yeah. So I've had a ton of alumni reach out and just like DM me. But Matt, because we were kind of in the same position, we both got voted out week
Yeah.
one. We both were like viewed as threats or whatever, and so it was kind of like we kind of resonated there. And he was only a couple hour drive away from where my family lives.
Oh,
And
nice.
so we just touched base, and then I drove down there for a couple days, stayed with them, and made a little content, got to hang out and like meet them, and it was super fun. But I've had a lot of alumni just DM me like, hey, like I'm here for you, like the community's awesome. The Big Brother community is awesome.
Oh, yeah, they really are. I know a lot of them and they are amazing. Are you watching the feeds now that you're out of the house or even the episodes?
So I've been keeping up on the episodes decently well. I've missed I didn't watch one from last night yet. I
Okay.
know what happened, but like because I'll see like stuff on Twitter, so I kind of have a gist of what happens, but I haven't watched all of the episodes. The
Right.
live feeds I've watched a tiny bit. At first, it was a little bit hard to like watch them. And I'm like, dang, like all my friends are in there, and I'm not in there. But
Yeah.
and it's just been so busy since coming back, like catching up with everybody. Like it feels like I just got back yesterday. Like it feels like I don't even know. Like it's been a couple weeks. Like it feels like I'm still so busy just trying to keep up with everything that I haven't had a ton of extra time. But I would say I have a general idea of most of the things that have gone on.
Okay. So do you know what happened? Like spoilers. I don't want to give you any spoilers, but you know
No,
what
just
happened? You
just
know
give
who
them to
the
me. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Do you know who the HOH is this week?
So I know it was Riley that won HOH, but then Mickey's took over his nominations.
Yeah. Okay. What are your thoughts on that?
I think it was probably the best play for Mickey because I mean, obviously Riley's kind of a wild card. Like he voted to evict me. Like I think he's just kind of playing this game. It seems like just to help Catherine. It kind of seems a little bit. And so
Hmm.
I think it's probably the best play for Mickey for sure. Because when someone's such a wild card, she can obviously secure the nominations that are going to benefit her the most. And so I think it was the right play for her. I think it's probably frustrating for Riley, but at the same time, he kind of did it to himself a little bit by being such a wild card.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with that completely. So I don't know how much you can talk about, but I like to ask everyone when I start these interviews. Of course, I don't talk to usually. I usually talk to people from past seasons. So, anyways, what is your casting story? What can you tell me from that?
Yeah, so I actually applied for the Amazing Race with one of my best
Oh,
Sammy, who was on Survivor, season 43, and so we applied for the Amazing Race. We cheered together at BYU, in college, and so we were actually at Cheer Nationals back in April, and we got a text, and we just kind of submitted it just for fun. It was like whatever. Like we were like, okay, cool, it'd be cool if we got on, but like. It wasn't like a light. Like I've always wanted to do something like that, but like it wasn't like I was applying every year or anything like that. And so I got a text when I was in Florida for Cheer Nationals. That was one of the casting people, and they said they showed the video to Jesse, and that they really liked us, but since Sammy was already on Survivor, that they couldn't take us on there. But then they were like, "But we really liked you, like Isaiah. Have you heard of Big Brother?" And I was like, not really. Like, I haven't really watched it. So I started looking into it. I watched some of it. I started going through the casting process that way, doing the interviews, things like that. So that's kind of how I got casted for Big Brother.
wow. Wow. Our little show is so niche.
Yeah,
You barely.
it's awesome though. It's an awesome community.
Yeah, no, it really, really is. I love that you love the community. So your target week one, we have to talk about it, was Rachel.
Yes.
Tell me about that argument that you guys had, when she said if you come for the queen, you'll get beheaded.
Yeah, it was just such a weird experience. I'll be so for real. Like, it was one of the weirdest interactions I've had with an adult ever. Because I was so what happened. A little bit of backstory is she was trying to turn Keanu against me, and trying to kind of spread a little bit of misinformation about me, trying to say that I was trying to put him up on the block, which was not true. Because there was a time when I didn't trust him because some of the things he said, but I was very upfront with him and I said, "Yo, like Loki, like I kind of have issues with some of the things you said. Like I don't know if I would trust you." And we kind of moved through it. And then she went back up and brought it back up and tried to turn him against me right before the nomination, or I mean, right before the eviction. And so Keanu came to me and said, "Hey, this is what she said. Like, is this true?" And I was like, "Dude, we already talked about this. Like, that's like BS, you know." And then she knew that we were talking because it was right after they had talked. So she came and sat down and said, "Oh, what are you guys talking about?" And obviously she knew. And then, you know, she tried, I think she was just trying to make a big TV moment or something. I'm not really sure because it came out of nowhere where she kept on trying to bait me saying like, "Oh, like you kept on saying you're going to target me." And I'm like, "Whoa, I never said the word target never came out of my mouth." I was like, "It makes the most sense for my game." I was like, "I'm going to be honest with you. Like, I'm not going to beat around the bush. It's pretty obvious, I think, already that if I won HOH, obviously I wouldn't put up people on the block that just voted to keep me in the game. And so, yeah, you'd probably be in a pool of people that like I might put up, but I'm not going to say I'm targeting you. I don't even know if I would put you up. Obviously, in hindsight, I would have after everything that happened. But by the time, I actually genuinely did not know who I was going to put up. And so then she kept on saying like, "Oh, you're targeting me," like you're trying to bait me into like saying something. And then she finally like said her little line that I know she had probably prepared like the day before of, "Oh, you come for the queen, you're gonna get beheaded." Stood up, walked out all dramatically, and then I was like, "Dude, like I do not want beef. Like I do not like conflict." And so I went inside. I followed her inside like after a couple minutes, and I tried to talk with her one on one. And I said, "Rachel, like I would love to talk with you like about there. I didn't want you to like take anything the wrong way about our conversation outside." And she said, "What conversation?" And it literally just happened like 5 minutes before, and I was like, "Okay, like this is the game she's playing, like whatever." And then she starts walking off to kind of create distance, so we're kind of talking louder, you know, kind of like almost like yelling at each other. And then she keeps on saying stuff, and then like I say my line of like, I don't even know. I wasn't even trying to argue. I was trying to decide like, am I arguing right now? Am I not? Like, how do I play this? Like, I don't think she's gonna like give up on it. And so I think I said like one line of like as long as I'm in this house, you're not gonna win, Big Brother again. So, but I did fumble the delivery pretty bad. I'm not gonna lie on that because I didn't know what I didn't know if I wanted to say. I didn't know if I didn't. I was so confused honestly, and I think it was pretty obvious to everyone in the house that I didn't want to argue, that's not how I am. It's not how I want to be perceived. And so, you know, then I try and take her into a storage room to chat one-on-one and like have an adult conversation. And the whole time she's just saying, I'm bored. I don't want to talk about this. I'm bored." And I was like, "Okay, Rachel, like I'm not holding you hostage here. If you would like to go, you are free to go." And then that's how it ended. She walked out and then we never talked about it again. And it was a very weird interaction. I still really don't know exactly what to think about it. I tried to ask her, I was like, "Rachel, is this like something for TV? Like you just want a big TV moment? Do you want the spotlight?" Because like, if you go, that's chill. Like I would just like to know ahead of time if this is like legit or if this is like fake for TV. I can't tell. I really could not tell. And like I'm not the kind of person that like wants to really put on a big show for TV. Like I just wanted to be myself in there, and so it was just very confusing to me, the whole situation. But that's like the in-depth version.
Yeah. What was your strategy going into the game, and did it change?
So I actually did not have a set strategy going into the game.
Okay.
I felt like because every season is so different, when someone does have a set strategy going to the game, they're doing themselves a disservice. Because if you're so rigid on that, then because you don't know what you're getting into, it's hard to have that like strategy. And so I kind of wanted to go with the flow. I did want to play a more honest game at first, and I did stick with that. I didn't tell a lie. I mean, obviously I was only there 1 week, but I was honest the entire way through. So I wanted to kind of build up rapport with people. That way, when the timing was right, and I said like I was going to do, and I needed to make a big move, I could say, I could say something and people would believe me, and then I could go and make a blindside or make the big move that I needed to. So that was kind of like the only really strategy that I had, but I didn't really have a strategy prepared. I just kind of wanted to go in and kind of go with the flow. I feel like I'm a pretty adaptable person. So that was kind of my strategy going in.
Okay. I don't know if you have watched your episodes back from when you were
I
on
have.
the show. Okay, good. What has anything surprised you from watching them?
I mean, there was a lot of things that surprised me. I mean, for one, like obviously Riley voting to evict me really caught me off guard because he's telling me that he wanted to go final two with me. I think even some of the house guests, like I didn't know Morgan played video games. I didn't know Ashley was a lawyer. So there was a lot of things like that like I was like, whoa, that's kind of cool. Like I didn't know that. I think a lot of the alliances that happened, like I had zero, completely under my radar. I had no idea that how many alliances there actually were in the house. And so yeah, there was a lot of things. I mean, I'm sure I could think of like probably a dozen more, if I thought about it for 30 more seconds. There's a lot of things in the house that like really surprised me looking back.
Okay. What do you think of when Julie Chen announced that the BBAI Arena would come back, the BB Blockbuster, full time? What do you think of that?
I was excited, honestly. I think it's a cool twist to the game. It keeps it more exciting, more competitions, less like, you can't get backdoored as easily. Like I think it adds another element to the game that I really like. So I was excited for it. And I kind of figured it would, because season 26 was the only full season that I've watched. And so that was more of what I was used to anyway. And so I liked it.
Okay. Okay, cool. Who are you hoping to keep in touch with in the house?
I mean, obviously Zach's my boy. Like, are you saying like just after the whole show's done or like right now? Because
when the show's done, when everyone's
done.
Yeah,
obviously Zach's my boy. Like, so Zach and Keanu are guys that I feel like, and Riley honestly are guys that I feel like I really vibed with, and I would love to like hang out with after the show. But honestly, like most everybody in there, I thought were super sick people. I'd love to like visit and keep in touch with. But especially like Zach, I would say is one that like I plan on like keeping in touch with for sure.
Oh, I love that. I felt so bad. He was so upset when you were evicted.
I know it was sad. It made me sad to see him.
Yeah. Do people recognize you now that you're home?
Yeah, I would say so. Like a lot of people are like, oh, like it's yeah, it's weird. Like even in the airport on the way home, people are like, Zay? And I'm like, yeah, that's me. It's like kind of weird because it's never happened to me really before. But yeah, so it's not like obviously like everywhere I go, like I'm like a big celebrity or anything like that. But like occasionally people are like, oh, you're the guy from the show. Like, how was the show? You know?
Yeah, it must be weird either way, you know.
It is weird.
Do you do you have any advice for people who want to play the show in the future?
As far as the application, or as far as when they're in the game.
Both.
As far as the application and the casting, I would say they look for strong personalities, but I feel like they can really tell when someone's trying to do too much or trying to like put on a show for them. And
Right.
so be yourself, but you have to be someone interesting enough to cast. They fit, certain personas in the show. And so you have to fit into one of those molds in a way, but also be yourself and be different than everybody else that's been on the show before. And so I would say that's a huge aspect of the casting. But if you try and do too much, they can smell that out, and they won't they don't want people who are posers.
Yeah.
And then as far as being in the show, I mean, obviously I don't have the most experience of Big Brother. I was in there for 1 week, but I would say definitely, let's see, advice to people that were that go into the Big Brother house. This is a good one. I mean, I would say also like be yourself. Like I think a lot of the people in my season that are trying to put on a little bit too much of a show for other people, they like they're not liked. It's like people can tell, and so it's like if you're not just being yourself, if you're not being real and being authentic, like you're only doing yourself a disservice. And I feel like it's just gonna come back to bite those people that aren't.
Yeah. All right, my last question for you, and this might seem a little soon, but would you ever play Big Brother again?
Of course, I would love if they called me. I would drop whatever I'm doing. I would love to go. I feel like I
Okay.
I, I want that redemption. Like I feel like I didn't really get a full chance to show what I could do. Because obviously my time was cut short. But yeah, I would love to play Big Brother again if I got the chance. And I feel like even just the short time I had in there, it would help me so much going back in to like kind of know how to navigate it a little bit, because there's not like a guidebook, that teaches you how to do it. But I think after
Yeah.
having even 1 week of experience in there, I feel like I can navigate it so much better.
Yeah. Yeah. Zay, thank you so much for talking with me. Do you have anything going on or want to tell people where to find you?
I mean, I'm on. I'm mostly active on Instagram. My
Okay.
Instagram is Day and then underscore Fred. That's my last name, Frederick. So you can check me out on there. That's where I'm most active. But yeah,